Right, the day's finally here. It's our first ever podcast together, my first ever podcast. And I woke up this morning nervous and anxious, but that's just normal. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to all that's messaged me this morning to give me support. It means a lot. So who are we then, and what's this about? I'm Ricky Turner, a recovering alcoholic. Been sober now for 4 months. I'm from Castleford. If you don't know where Castleford is, it's in West Yorkshire. It's a ex-mining town that's proud on its rugby league. Um, yeah, so I'm a recovering alcoholic, sober for 4 months. I'm with Desi, who's also a recovering alcoholic. He's been sober for 9 years now. That's me, Des. Yeah, we've both got the similar beginnings in life. Completely different middles, i.e., aspirations, career choices, but we share the same chaos what surrounds around alcohol. And we've both driving to the same ending, really, an ending that money can't buy. That's inner peace, serenity, and just being better people for us families. So we're going to do this in parts, but you'll be able to find the full podcast on my new YouTube channel called Becoming Buddy's Dad. But we're going to release each part on other platforms. So we're going to start with both our beginnings. So I'll hand you over to Desi, who's going to go through from obviously being born up to where alcohol took hold of him. So without further ado, Desmondos.
Thanks everybody. Like Ricky says, thanks everybody for listening. My name's Desi. I will say, Ricky didn't mention it. Yeah, I'm from Castleford, but Airedale. But yeah, like I say, mining village, but where I got brought up. Didn't have really. Had a really good upbringing, to be quite honest. Lived in Saxon Way. My mum and dad brought me up.
Screw.
But yeah, it was good. We all looked after each other in Saxon Way. Ricky were from there. But school, I didn't do. I'll be honest, I didn't do very well at school. My mum's told me recently that, like Ricky says, I'm 9 year clean and sober, and my mum's told me recently, well, when I went to high school, that I didn't do very well. I'll be honest, because all I wanted to do was play rugby league. But family were good, school were good. Feelings growing up, I did fit in, but it were always I'll be honest, I want the brightest kid, because all I wanted to do was, like I say, was play rugby. We've got very similar backgrounds from where we got brought up, but the middle part, we went as separate ways. Ricky's a bit older than me, but yeah, speaking to it about myself, I never had a bad upbringing, and you always think, when somebody's in alcoholism or drug addiction or whatever, that they have a bad upbringing. Not necessarily that, but yeah, like I say, we're going to touch on every little aspect of his life in this podcast. That's just the beginning for me. Had a really good family, and
so my beginnings then, born in 1983. Like I said before, Castleford's mining town. I was born just after miners' strike, which had a massive impact on families in the area. And a lot of families didn't have fuck all. I'll apologise for swearing. Yeah, but I've got to keep it as real as I can. A lot of families didn't have fuck all, and my family want no different. But what we did have is a lot of love and a sense of that family. That was drove home by both parents. We had a really good tight family. I'm the youngest of 4 brothers. And as you can imagine, that was pure chaos when I was growing up. especially if there were a fighting film on TV or out like that. We all went straight into the front garden and knocked shit out of each other as soon as credits started coming up. Yeah, so youngest of four brothers. I was probably the annoying one. I always used to get a good clip if I tried following our Ross or out like that on the state. Yeah, Saxon Wave, what he's mentioned, they were times of my life. I think every family on their mother were your mother sort of thing. You could just walk in and out of each other's houses, nobody bat an eyelid. I could go straight into somebody's house and get some out of the fridge. You can't do that nowadays. I think my generation were quite lucky. The ones above us, like my oldest brother's age, I think heroin just started coming on scene. They didn't know much about it. That age group were sort of guinea pigs. They just thought it were like cannabis and that. But how wrong were they? And I think that had a big impact on the state. And it's took a lot of lives over the years. People that I know. But yeah, they were like the guinea pigs for my generation, and they sort of dabbled with that, and it showed us not to go down that road. But yeah, had a really good upbringing. When I was 10-year-old, my mum and dad split up. And looking back at it now, I sort of blame my mum for it, which were wrong. But all I seen was that my dad had been kicked out. That had a massive impact on us family at the time. But my mum, obviously, to keep us from, basically, she didn't tell us what was going on. She hid it from us to not upset us. So we started blaming her. Well, I did anyway. And I moved in with my dad, and he fetched me up from 10 up to leaving school. Obviously, I still had a relationship with my mum, a good relationship with my mum. At school, I went into high school probably like a lot of people in all top sets, and that rapidly declined because I was fucking about. In high school, I was a little twat in high school. Did things that I'm not proud of. I always wanted to be centre of attention. I used to fucking pick on people when I look back at it, and I'm not proud of that. Like, if there's anybody watching that I did pick on, I'm not that guy now. But yeah, I've got a lot of regrets from high school, because kids can be horrible, cruel people, and I was one of them, I think. But like I say, I'm not that person now. Towards end of high school, I didn't care about grades or hope, because I was always destined to follow my dad's footsteps and become a paratrooper, which I'll touch on later on. Two of my older brothers had already gone in army, so it were always a path that I was going to go down. Yeah, so that's my beginnings really. That's before, or just before I finish on that. Alcohol for me, there were signs there that really early days. My dad being Scottish, he used to bring half at San Martin back for a sing song on a Saturday night, and I can remember sneaking downstairs while they were all having a sing song and nicking cans out of the fridge at about 11, 12-year-old. Me and Banner, my mate Paul Bamford, my best mate, used to be smashing cans at about 12 in back bedroom, and then so it started creeping in very, very young. Basically, before when I started getting pocket money and knocking about on the state, we used to get a £5 a week, I think, me and Banner each. On different days, we'd beg people to go and shop for 8 cans of challenge for us and smash them in. So it was starting to pop its head up earlier on. Yeah, so I'll leave it there on beginnings. Guys, if you're liking this so far, please like and subscribe. Part 2 will be out tomorrow, where we cover as middle stages of his lives and the chaos surrounding alcoholism. Thank you.